So I was sitting back thinking about the best advice I can give for a first-time competitive natural bodybuilder. And it would have to be what fat percentage you should stay in the off season. Okay? I had no idea at first how long it would take to get to that degree of leanness and the degree of leanness you needed to have to step on stage in the competitive drug-free bodybuilding world. So we'll go to one end of the spectrum, and then we'll go to the other end of the spectrum, and I'll talk about the sweet spot where you want to stay at. Okay, so on one end of the spectrum is these people. It's easy to do because we live in the world of Instagram, right? Where you have to look good every single day for the photo. You know, they want to post photos every single day, you know, of themselves. You know, they get the filter and the right light and the shadows, and that's their main concern: staying lean, having the six-pack abs, right? Well, you know what? If you're more concerned about those six-pack abs and not about putting on muscle mass, that's probably going to be a problem because you're never going to really put on you're not going to be able to maximize your muscle gains. Now, we are bodybuilders, so the main goal is to put on muscle, right? And putting on muscle naturally is the hardest thing to do. It isn't necessarily getting lean. Yes, getting lean is tough, but putting on muscle mass itself naturally is far harder to do. So that should be your main numero uno, number one concern, okay? So there's the end of the spectrum, having those really, really defined abs, okay? Looking good for the photos. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where you're getting too fat. And if you're too fat coming into a show, getting ready for a show, you're not going to it won't have enough time to get to that point, okay? So let's talk about this. My mentor and coach, Skip LaCour, always used to tell me, you want to stay 12 weeks out, okay? Well, back in the days when he competed and a lot of these guys competed, they were able to use ephedra. It was a very effective fat-burning supplement, but was natural. But they could get lean taking a ton of this stuff in 3 months. Okay, I don't think that is the truth anymore. Nowadays, being able to use these fat burners that we have are not very effective. It's going to take you a lot longer. Okay, I would say at least start 6 months out. Get there early and maintain it at the end. It's going to be easier on your mind. It's going to be easier on your body. Trust me. You want to stay at least 6 months. I mean, you want to start at least 6 months out. Okay, and at what point do you want to be at? This is what I use as a reference. When you start losing the defining lines in your abs, excuse me, you're starting to get to 13-14% body fat for men. Okay, and that's just too much. It's going to be too hard to lose by that time. You want to stay, trust me, having just sort of abs with some defined lines, not six-pack, but just some defined lines, that's kind of where the sweet spot is. That's where you want to kind of be, okay? You're fat enough so you can keep putting on muscle mass and you feel great and strong in the gym, but you're not getting too fat. I'm sorry, not getting too lean to where it's going to start, affecting you there. So that's the point I like to stay at. I like to stay at where I have just abs, where I can just show the abs. So if you go to my last Instagram post, where I put, I normally wouldn't post myself at this body fat percentage. That's where I like to sit, and it's relatively about 12 to 13% body fat. Okay, I'll have plenty of time if I want to get ready for a show 6 months out. I can diet down and get shredded, but then I have enough, taking enough calories so I'm strong in the gym, and it won't mess with me mentally. Because when you start getting lean, it does mess with you mentally, not just physically in the gym. It starts messing with you mentally. So that's the point I like to stay at. Okay. So our takeaway message here, basically, what you should take away is, give yourself enough time. Okay. Don't start too late, because there's nothing you can do at the end if you're not there. Okay. If you're not lean enough, so you want to start out at least, I say, 6 months out. Okay, give yourself plenty of time to get lean, okay, for the show. That's the first thing you should do. And second is, don't be concerned with getting all these Instagram photos and looking great all the time and having a six-pack abs. Okay, there's a time to have a six-pack ab. It's called on show date. Okay, that's when you should be worried about having these six-pack abs, or around that time. Okay, as a competitive bodybuilder, because you want to maximize your muscle gains in the off season all the time. All right. Another thing is just don't let yourself get too fat. Make sure you keep yourself in that point where you at least have some lines in your abs. You have somewhat of defined abs. Okay, so that's what I use as a reference, and it's a pretty good reference for most competitors. Okay. All right, so that's kind of a long video. If you got any questions, go ahead and ask them down below. If you like my videos, you want some more of them, please give me a thumbs up. I'll try to post some more out there. Okay. I want to just help people out. I just don't want to have you make the same mistakes I did. I didn't give myself enough time to get lean. I tried to drop 40 pounds in 3 months. It just didn't work. I'm only 5'6". It didn't happen. Okay. It was a bad experience, but I learned a lot from it, and hopefully you learn from my mistakes. Okay, give yourself plenty of time. Don't try to be too lean. All right. So you just have a good one.